Hello friends, welcome to our channel where we will give you the knowledge of books in a simple and today we bring to you the story of such a book in an interesting way who has changed the thinking and life of millions of people. We are talking about Robert. This book of Kiyosaki's bestseller Rich Dad Poor Dad will help you understand money. It gives an opportunity to understand financial education and the mindset of becoming rich in depth. Contains stories of two dads, how the thoughts and decisions of both the rich dad and the other poor dad affect their financial. We influence the situation. This is the main message of this book. In this video we will tell you lessons from Rich Dad Poor Dad, the most important principles and inspirational stories we are going to explain in simple words in English. If you want to improve your financial life, if you want to make this video, then this video will work. Let's settle it. Think of it like this: if you assume that the loan installment is $2, then this is like the rent of your house of $2. We will collect the dollars and give it to the bank, so we have money in our pocket without any hard work. Actually, the only difference between a rich dad and a poor dad is their thinking. Earning money, how to spend is the only issue and nothing else. If in the days of 1967, when kids were asked what they wanted to be when they grew up, everyone's answer was that they would get good grades and become doctors. Everyone thought that they will become engineers and that they will earn a lot of money by getting good grades. Although many of those children are grown up today, will be able to earn. Although many of those children have grown up today and have become doctors despite this, many of them are still seen struggling financially because they always felt that earning money would solve all their problems, but this is not the case in today's times. A lot of kids want to be famous athletes or CEOs or movie stars or rock star because they know that they cannot achieve success in their career just by relying on good studies and good grades. Financial nightmares have become very common these days. Often newly married couples think about this, that their salary will double now because both of them are earning a small amount while living at home. He now dreams of a bigger house, so he starts saving money because of this. Their entire focus is only on making their career. If the income starts increasing, then obviously the expenses will also increase accordingly. So the issue is like this: that's when you make money without being financially literate or without thinking. Made so much money now so that he can buy a bigger house, they will think that they have become a little rich now. But the fact is that with the bigger house they have bought, a new home, liabilities have also been purchased. Now property taxes included in their cash flow expenses have increased. Now they want a new car, they want furniture, everything is new. Liabilities keep on increasing, and what usually happens is that along with income, expenses also start increasing, and then one day suddenly this truth gets revealed, but by then we are badly stuck in this rat race. Then such people come to our writer Robert and ask how to become rich. Now this question is a problem. It is a big mistake because everyone thinks that money is the solution to everything. The mistake is his problem isn't that he isn't making much money, but that how to handle what they have. Well, there's a saying that applies here: when you find yourself in a deep hole, stop digging yourself deeper, because most people are terrified of public speaking. Psychiatrists believe that people are nervous because they fear rejection from others. There is a fear of being different. What will people think about us, or that they will laugh at us? So no, just thinking that most people shy away from pub speaking. Do the same people who like what everyone else is doing, make themselves a part of the crowd. You're satisfied. Your house is your biggest asset. Take a loan. Now there is a promotion, it's done. Now your salary has increased, so you should buy a new house. Isn't this all what we people are talking about? We too start following the same path because whatever everyone is doing must be right. Brother, all the people together cannot make a mistake. We think so, but it's not right. That's not true at all. Rich Dad said that the Japanese people are the strength of the arms. Jewels represent the power of money, and mirrors show the power hidden within us, and that is our greatest strength, is when you know yourself. If you stand in front of the mirror and meet yourself, you can ask the question whether I am right or should I also remain a part of the crowd. Then whatever answer you will get, that is your real strength. Then the poor and the middle class will not become slaves of money. They give so much that they can never become rich. 16-year-old Robert and Mike, Rich Dad, he accompanied him to every meeting he had with his accountants, managers, investors, and keeping up with employees. Here we get to see a rich dad who is educated. No, he left school at the age of 13, but today he can hold meetings and get educated people to work under him. He gives orders to people and teaches them business tips. He is a person who understands the crowd, who took the risk and did not care about the people, did not become a part of this, due to which this fear arose. He didn't care what people would think of him. The result of these meetings was that both the author and his friend could not concentrate on their school studies whenever their teacher would say something she used to give them work, and they had to do it according to the rules. So they realized that how schooling suppresses a child's talents and doesn't allow them to flourish by killing their creativity and putting them in a mold. This society has become mechanical. She just makes up a portion, and she was also in denial about what they can become successful and rich only by earning money. By the way, one day Robert will tell his poor dad his father believed that their home was the best investment for them, but he was running in a red race. His income and expenses were equal. He had to complete. They didn't have a moment's free time to do that. That's what Robert wanted to explain to them. He said that for his father, the house was not an asset but a liability. His money was in the house, money was being spent, but nothing was being received in return. His poor dad was unable to understand this, so that was the only difference between the poor dad and the rich dad. Well, their argument continued. He told his poor father that most of the people spend their whole lives repaying the loan for the house they buy, for that he pays the loan for 30 years, then buys another bigger house and repays his loan now, whether the price of the house will also increase accordingly or not. It depends on. There are some people who they had taken a huge amount of money to buy the house, and they had a debt that was more than the value of the house. The biggest disadvantage of this is that people climb up to other places. They are not able to invest because all their money is invested in that house. They will never be able to make any money. They do not get the opportunity to invest. People spend their whole lives repaying the loan for the house they buy, for that he pays the loan for 30 years, then buys another bigger house and repays his loan now, whether the price of the house will also increase accordingly or not. It depends on. There are some people who they had taken a huge amount of money to buy the house, and they had a debt that was more than the value of the house. The biggest disadvantage of this is that people climb up to other places. They are not able to invest because all their money is invested in that house. They will never be able to make any money. They do not get the opportunity to invest, nor do they learn anything about it, and in this way many of their assets get lost. If instead people focus only on assets, their future will be lost. It could be better now. For example, Robert's wife's parents are from they shifted to their house and thought that buying a bigger and new house for themselves was the right decision because, like everyone else, he also considered buying a house an asset, knowing that they were shocked to find out that the property tax on that house was $1,000, which was a huge cost for them, and since he was retired, it was his responsibility to pay this much money as tax. Retirement was out of budget. Of course, we are not saying that you should not buy a new home, but we want to explain that with the money you can buy, you will buy a big house. The more money you can invest in an asset, it will be better if you invest in it. Your asset will earn for you, and after some time you will have so much money that you will be able to easily buy your favorite house, and that too without any loan. So now the question is that why do the rich keep getting richer while the middle class is unable to move ahead? There is a reason behind this, and the reason, what do the middle class do? So they just wait for the first date of the month when their salary comes, and then everything is over. If the salary is spent on meeting the expenses, then from where will the investment happen? And then when the salary increases, the tax on it also increases, and the rest of the expenses increase accordingly, and then in the end the rat race continues. That is to say that in a debt, the submerged society in which we live means that considering your home as an asset is the reason why that presses us under the burden of debt. Today, this is the thinking of most people. If their salary has increased, so people think that now they can buy a bigger house because they think that's a better use of their money than if money is invested in the right place. Their life can change forever, but it may happen. Do not get it because they spend all their time in hard work and they consider their job as a safe zone and stay away from it. Some people are not able to think, and at the same time, they are under so much debt that they cannot afford to take up a job. You cannot take the risk of leaving. Now ask yourself whether you would leave your job today or not. If you sit idle, then how many days will you survive? Because if you are financially literate, no, if you have spent your whole life depending only on salary and you have taken liabilities instead of assets, then surely your life is a very tough challenge. You cannot survive just by relying on your net worth. Why should it be in the form of an old car? even if that car is no longer useful, while wealth means how much more money you are making with the money you have. Let's say you have an asset that earns me $3,000 per month. If it goes away and you spend 000 rupees every month, then I can spend only half a month on my account. If I am able to make ends meet, then the solution would be to increase the money you get from your assets. When you start getting that 000, you will not become rich overnight, but in this way you will start becoming wealthy. Now, even if you suddenly leave your job, your assets will remain with you. You will be able to become wealthy only when you cover all your expenses. When your expenses outweigh the growth of your assets, keep it less than. And with this comes the fourth lesson, which says mind your own business. Rick Rockney, founder of the world's largest food chain McDonald's. In an MBA class, this was his speech in 1947. His speech was amazing and inspired people. After his speech, when the students of the MBA class came to spend some time with him, when he requested, he went to drink beer with him. During the conversation, Ray suddenly said, he asked, "Do you people know what business I am in?" Now everyone knows this. When I heard he sold hamburgers, he laughed and said that his real business was selling hamburgers. Real estate, because for McDonald's, every location is carefully selected where its franchisees, that land is also sold along with it, so it simply means that McDonald's, the franchisee, also had to buy the land. So in this way it also became a real estate business. This is the lesson taught by Amir Dean taught Robert, that people often work for everybody else but for themselves. They pay taxes for the government. He works for the company. This school teaches us to be employees, not employers. What you study is what you become. If you have studied science, you become a doctor. If you have studied mathematics, you become an engineer. So whatever you have studied, you become that. Now the problem is that this has no effect on the students. It does not work out because they get confused between the difference between job and business when someone asks them what kind of business they are doing. If yes, then you should not say that I am a doctor or a banker, because that is your profession and not your business. This means that whatever you do, make it your business, not a job, and spend your entire life with it. Don't waste your time working for others and making them rich, but rather make your own life rich. Work to make people happy. Many people realize this very late. It happens that their house loan is taking their life, and then they realize that what they were mistakenly considering as an asset was actually never worth anything. There was no asset. For example, when he bought a car, all the expenses related to it became his liabilities. Once they go, their problems start. That is why we focus so much on the asset column. We are focusing on your income column and not on your financial expressions. In terms of assets, I wouldn't recommend that it loses 25% of its value. Now, what kind of assets should be bought here? We will give you some examples of businesses where your presence is not necessary, which is not possible in other businesses. Let people run it for you, because if you spend too much time there, then it will not be a business, you will have a job. Second is to invest in real estate. Third is to buy stocks and bonds. Then if you buy assets, invest money on things you like, because you will invest in them only if you feel like it. You will be able to pay attention. If you are interested in him, then you will be able to understand Robert better. He was interested in real estate and stocks, especially investing in small companies. He never quit his job on the advice of his rich dad. He did not leave his job and continued working along with his. The asset column continues to grow bigger and stronger. Do not waste even a single penny that you earn. Let go of your money and treat it like your slave. It works for you and you live in luxury. If you want to buy, then buy it as per your hobby. It is not a big deal, but do not forget that the rich and middle class, this is the difference in thinking among the classes. Where the middle class will spend money on luxury first as soon as they get it, the rich man will buy it at the end. And after understanding this much, now in the next lesson you will know about the biggest secret of rich people. The fifth lesson says that the rich had done their business when the money grew bigger and became harder to handle. He went to Western Union and got the patent, and the small company were offered for sale for $100,000 to the then Western Union president turned down the offer as he felt the price was too high, and then a large company at NT was born. Robert has been teaching professionally since 1984. One thing that after teaching thousands of people, he realized that among all those people there was potential. In fact, every human being has the potential that can make us great. Despite this, what stops us is self-doubt. Keep us after leaving school. It turns out that grades alone are not enough to get ahead in life. Not only smart people move ahead, but those who are bold also move ahead. It is true that to be a financial genius one must have knowledge of it, but at the same time you also need courage and boldness. Most people do not want to take any risk in matters of money, but to become rich we have to take risks, because in the coming years a new Bill Gates might be born, or the next Alexander, and others might be bored, become bankrupt and poor. Now it is your choice which of these you want to become. You increase your financial IQ, you can achieve a lot, and if otherwise the coming years can be even more scary, because when everything old goes, something new comes. So the one who is there today is the happiest. Nowadays people are struggling more financially because their thinking is still old, so instead of accepting their mistake they either blame their boss. Will we give it to new technology? What was an asset yesterday has become a liability today. So you need to stay updated. Robert attempt has been made to explain everything through this game. One day a woman came to play the game. During this time he won a boat card, which meant he won a board in that game. The woman was very happy, but when she found out that she had to pay a large amount of tax to get the vote, when he has to fill the form, then his happiness vanishes. That vote no longer becomes an asset for him, but a liability. She realized that this vote would take her life. She could not understand this idea. Came and asked for a refund. She got her money back and she left, but later he called and told that he was now starting to understand the idea of the game and he was planning to play that game. I was able to see my life by connecting it with money. Do not understand how it works. His anger was justified because he got the money. We often do the same thing which we do not understand. When something happens to us, we get angry at it and start blaming it for every problem in our life. But if we think with a cool mind, if we think from perspective, then this approach would be completely wrong. It would be better if we try to understand them so you can win the game of life. Many people win a lot of money in cage flow game, then they don't know what to do with the money, so they start wondering what it means. The reason is their old thinking, which does not allow them to move forward. And then later they lose all their money. Some people say they lost because their